The Powerwall sitting in your garage could actually earn you money, not hypothetically, right now. Tesla's virtual power plant program pays some Powerwall owners every single year just for owning the battery they already bought. Here's the catch, and this one matters. How much you earn depends almost entirely on where you live, not your setup, not your solar panels, not even how often the grid needs help, just your zip code. Some Powerwall owners earn around $158 a year. Some earn over $1,300. One Texas program pays a one-time incentive of nearly $6,000 for a new installation. And a lot of owners earn nothing at all because no program exists in their state. So here's the real question. Is your Powerwall quietly making you money, or sitting in your garage earning absolutely nothing? The answer comes down to one detail almost nobody checks, and it completely changes the math. Start with what this program actually is, because the name makes it sound more complicated than it needs to be. If you watched our earlier Powerwall video, that one was about reducing your electric bill. This one is different. It's about whether your battery can actually earn money after you've installed it. A virtual power plant isn't a building, it's a network. Tesla connects thousands of Powerwalls across a region using software, and during moments of high demand on the grid, usually summer afternoons when everyone's running their air conditioning at the same time, it briefly draws stored energy from those batteries and sends it to the grid. Your house keeps running normally. You probably don't notice anything, but your Powerwall contributed a few kilowatt hours of energy back to the grid at exactly the moment the grid needed it most, and the utility pays you for that. Think of it like this. Your battery sits charged most of the day. It's not doing anything except waiting to cover you if the power goes out. Tesla and your utility say, let us use a portion of that stored energy for a couple of hours this summer, a handful of times. We'll pay you for it, and we'll always leave you a backup reserve so you're covered if something actually goes wrong. That's the whole thing. No extra hardware, no complicated contracts. You sign up in the Tesla app, set your backup reserve, and the rest is automatic. But one state turns this into a nice bonus, while another turns it into something that can shave years off your Powerwall's payback. That's the scorecard for this video. Pitch versus where you live. Keep that board in mind, because we're going to add one state at a time and see who actually wins and who doesn't. Let's put every major program side by side, because once you see the spread, you'll understand why two Powerwall owners can own the exact same battery and earn completely different amounts. Long Island, New York. If you're enrolled through PSEG Long Island, Tesla estimates the average payout at about $158 per Powerwall each year. That's the low end of what's currently available. So add Long Island to the board, about $158 a year. A real payout, but not a life-changing one. California. Two programs exist here. The first is the Demand-Side Grid Support Program run by the California Energy Commission. It pays up to about $350 per Powerwall a year depending on how many grid events get called. Some seasons are better than others. The second is through Southern California Edison, or PG&E's Emergency Load Reduction Program, which pays $2 per kilowatt hour your Powerwall delivers during events. Depending on how many emergency events are called in a summer, that can land anywhere between $100 and $450 per Powerwall. One PG&E owner shared on Reddit that they earned $600 in a single season with 2 units. So California isn't one number, it's a range, and how many emergency events get called determines where you land. Now add California to the board, typically a few $100s per Powerwall a year depending on your utility and how often the grid calls on your battery. Massachusetts. This is consistently the highest paying state for annual VPP income. The Connected Solutions program, run through National Grid and Eversource, pays based on how much power your battery delivers during peak events from June through September. A Powerwall 3 paired with solar can earn around $1,375 per year in Massachusetts under this program, confirmed by Nuwatt's 2026 analysis using current program rates. Without solar, The earning potential drops. Tesla's own support page puts that at around $290 per year in Massachusetts if you have battery only, no panels. Significant difference? Worth knowing before you calculate anything. Massachusetts goes to the top of the board. Right now, it's the strongest recurring annual program Tesla owners can access. Texas. This one needs to be handled carefully because the number is real, but the structure is different. GVEC, a cooperative serving the Guadalupe Valley area, offers an upfront sign-up incentive of $5,922.50 for a new Powerwall 3 installed after April 1st, 2026, plus an ongoing annual incentive of up to $862.50 per year in monthly bill credits. That first number is not annual income. It's a one-time payment tied to a 5-year participation commitment. Over 5 years, the total across both the upfront incentive and the ongoing annual credits comes to over $10,000. But do not read $5,922 as something that repeats every year. It doesn't. Those are two entirely different line items, and conflating them is how bad YouTube videos mislead people. Texas goes on the board differently. The headline is the huge upfront incentive, not the annual payout. Great if you qualify, but it isn't money that repeats every year. Outside of GVEC's territory, Tesla also runs its own VPP through Tesla Electric in parts of Texas on the ERCOT grid. The earnings there depend on wholesale electricity prices during high-demand events, and they can vary significantly from year to year. And then there's the rest of the country, a lot of it. Most states either have no formal Tesla VPP program at all or have programs so early stage that payouts haven't been established. The Northeast and California are currently the most developed markets. If you're in the Midwest, the Southeast outside of Texas, or the Mountain West, there's a real chance no program applies to you at all, at least not yet. Before you start counting the money, there's something every Powerwall owner needs to understand. This is where the fine print changes what those headline payouts actually mean. When you enroll in a VPP program, your utility gains the ability to call on your battery during events. You don't press a button. Tesla dispatches automatically. That's the point. But it also means you don't control the timing. During a VPP event, your backup reserve is the floor. GVEC sets it at 30%, meaning the battery will not drop below 30% charge during an event. Other programs let you adjust your reserve through the Tesla app. So you're not left at zero, but you are working with less than a full tank for a few hours on summer afternoons. For most people, that's a reasonable trade. If a grid event is called at 3 p.m. on a Tuesday in August, you probably don't need your full battery at that exact moment. But if you live somewhere that gets major storms with no warning, and you want your Powerwall fully charged at all times, you need to weigh that against the earnings. Payments are performance-based. If your Powerwall doesn't discharge during an event because your backup reserve was already set high, or because there's some system issue you don't earn for that event, the payout is tied to what you actually deliver, not just enrollment. Programs change. The rates listed here are current as of July 2026. Utility programs have changed before and they can change again. The $1,375 Massachusetts number is based on this year's Connected Solutions rates. That program has been running since 2019, so it's stable, but nothing is guaranteed year to year. You can opt out at any time. Every program allows this, but opting out means you stop earning. And with GVEC's large upfront incentive, there's a 5-year participation requirement attached to it. Leaving early likely forfeits part of what you were paid. Now that we've seen the payouts and the catches, one question remains. Who actually comes out ahead and who probably won't? The payout doesn't fully cover your system cost by itself, but it shortens your payback period. That's the frame. It's not passive income. It's a meaningful reduction in the time it takes for the Powerwall to pay for itself. Someone in Massachusetts with solar and a Powerwall 3 who earns $1,375 a year through Connected Solutions is shaving over a year off a typical 10 to 12 year payback period just by enrolling in the Tesla app. That's real value for doing essentially nothing. For a homeowner on Long Island earning $158 a year, the impact is smaller, but it's still money you weren't getting before for a battery you already own. For someone in a state with no program, this is mostly a look at where things are heading. In late June 2026, Tesla, Sunrun, and Renew Home announced a framework to build up to 16.8 gigawatts of virtual power plant capacity for data centers and utilities, with about 300 megawatts already available in Virginia. It's a sign of where these programs are going, but it is aimed at grid and data center demand. There is still no formal residential earning program for Tesla Powerwall owners in Virginia today. If your state isn't listed on Tesla's VPP page, you aren't earning yet. The homeowner who should think carefully before over-relying on VPP income is the one who bought the Powerwall primarily for storm protection and wants 100% backup capacity available at all times. You can still enroll and set a high backup reserve, but your earnings will reflect however much buffer you've given the program to work with. So after all those numbers, what's the honest takeaway? It comes down to three simple conclusions. And now the scorecard is complete. Some states barely move the needle, others can meaningfully shorten your Powerwall's payback, and many still aren't on the board at all. First, Tesla's VPP is real, it pays real money, and the math varies dramatically by location. The range runs from roughly $158 a year to over $1,300 annually, plus GVEC's one-time sign-up incentive of nearly $6,000 in Texas. These are different types of payouts, and location is the deciding factor. Second, this doesn't make the Powerwall free. It makes the Powerwall pay for itself faster. That's a different claim, and it's the honest one. The program's shortened payback, not eliminated. Third, you can check your eligibility right now. Open the Tesla app. Look for the virtual power plant section on the home screen. If a program exists in your area, it'll show up. If it doesn't, check back. The map is still expanding. The battery in your garage could be doing a lot more than waiting for the next blackout. In the right zip code, it can quietly earn money while helping stabilize the grid. In the wrong one, it remains exactly what it has always been: backup power. And that's why checking your local program matters more than any headline payout ever will. If this gave you a clear, honest look at what Tesla's Powerwall VPP program actually pays and who it actually works for, hit like and subscribe. No padding, no hype, just the real picture. Next video, your internet bill. There's a legitimate program that can cut it to nearly zero for qualifying households. The details are worth knowing.